Hey, I finally got to check this out. So right now it's the 50-yard trellis. And wow, I am so impressed, Scott. I really like it. First, you're doing it right with your soil. Tell me what your mixture is.
Well, we actually kind of messed around with a few different sand-based soils, but that is decomposed granite. But it's so fine that it's basically like a sand. But we are.
So what, you got DG, it looks like some peat moss.
Peat moss.
Perlite.
There's a little big chunky perlite.
Pumice.
And then we also threw some mycorrhizal fungi in there and tossed it all together. So that's going to be, I don't know, we're messing with a few different types of soils, but I think we're settling on that. We're really liking that so far.
Is there any sand in it or no?
No sand, but like I said, the decomposed
DG.
granite is so fine that it really is almost like sand. And then we're using, top dressing of fertilizer, Grow Power.
Well, yeah, your plants look super happy. So you're using Grow Power Plus, and didn't you say you're using some Epsom salts? And what
Yeah,
else?
we did a treatment of Epsom salts. Dan, my stepdad, he suggested we use like a little tablespoon per gallon of water, and then just watered it in.
Yeah, they're really, really healthy. Look
We're
at all
also
that
using
new growth.
gypsum. Gypsum
some
for
gypsum.
Yeah,
Look at this
just kinda
Frankie's Red.
experimenting with some of the different things.
And you got into Frankie's in a perfect spot, so a little extra shade from this oak tree.
Yeah, that was recommended, that not to give that full sun, so I picked the one right in the area of the trellis that was already getting some shade.
And then how wide across are these?
I think they're only like 3 feet.
And man, this is super sturdy. Look at that. Okay, so
good,
you're using
yeah.
pressure treated wood.
And we could always definitely put a little more wood in to stabilize even further if we had to. So, but it's pretty strong. We're
this is
using
really
a combo of pressure treated wood, and then we got the concrete post as well. So
And look at this. Which one's this? Is this hypodermic?
this is hypodermic, and this is the one you gave me maybe, it wasn't even, I don't know, maybe a month and a half ago.
How is it so large already? That's crazy. Look
It's
at this
booming.
thing.
I don't know. It's liking it here.
Wow.
I didn't really think
happy.
about where to plant that one. I mean, as far as the shade, it is getting a little bit of shade, but all these plants get late sun.
Yeah, they get plenty of sun here. I don't think fruiting is going to be an issue. Now, I did notice, Scott, that you had a lot of wood and then this one concrete post. What's up with that?
Well, we did a couple concrete posts. We did 3 total on the line so far, and we might do more, but we're doing them probably, I think, every other or every 3 or 4. We were putting in some concrete posts.
And is it more about, didn't you say the cost because the rebar is so expensive?
Yeah,
now,
we were
right?
pricing it out. I was thinking it was actually going to be less expensive to do concrete, but when you do the post, it's about 1.5 bags. And then when you're getting bags, they're probably like, $4 to $5 per bag.
Yeah.
And then you got some rebar. You got to put a couple pieces of rebar in there. And it's a little more labor intensive than just going out and buying wood. I think it would last a lot longer. I mean, it's a great way to do it. We still have our form, so the form's right here, so we could do more, more if we want to. It worked really well. And I also wanted to just do one because I haven't made one that way, so I was just kind of curious just to try to see if it was a good functional way of doing it. But I mean, I would say if you price it out, it's probably more expensive than a wood post.
And is this a 100-pound bag or 250-pound bags, or how much does it take?
Yeah, I think it was I think it's about 75 pounds probably per, yeah, so probably like 1.5 bags.
Yeah, it's a nice post. I mean, I may have to borrow your form and try it myself. Well, I was also thinking, remember Leonardo from Oceanside? Remember how he used like some metal and then he put hose around it? Remember that?
Yeah, that was a good way.
I
was kind of thinking about Leo's design when we were doing that.
Yeah, this is kind of reminiscent of it. It reminds me of it.
And also his trellising system in general, like, when he did, his whole entire farm is like this. He doesn't have single posts.
Yeah, it conforms to the hill. It's natural.
Yeah, he has it around the hill and it kind of flows. And he has different blocks.
Yeah, I never thought about it. This is kind of inspired by Oceanside dragon fruit.
This is hopefully going to be a family affair.
This is going to get huge. I mean, in a year, this is just going to be a giant mass of plants. It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be a lot to take care of, I think.
Now, did you space it out with certain varieties so that way they could cross-pollinate each other? Or how did you set up the varieties on this?
Honestly, I didn't really think too much about where I was putting them. A lot of it had to do with which ones were ready in the greenhouse at the time. So I just wanted to start getting them on the trellis.
Well, what, you got sugar
dragon? But I do have, I wanted to put on one end the sugar dragon and the pink panther. I got 2 pollen sources. And then when I went down, I just went based on kind of what was ready, but I did put like the Frankie's Red in the shade.
Well, this is more you guys just are
and-
doing more for like fruit production, and you just want to have lots of really delicious fruit, right? That's the main point of
Yeah, and
this?
also we're just doing one variety per post, so this is kind of be like the kind of you know, the example, you know, and then if we like, you know, this version, we might expand into other posts and do more posts of that type of variety.
Oh,
obviously. But we also want to see, like, I know you've done a lot of growing in this similar environment, but we do want to know, you know, which varieties are going to do well and which aren't. And if some get too frustrating, we might rip them out because, yeah, they look good right now, but we haven't hit winter yet, and winter is going to be a whole different story.
Yep, or the stress of having fruit on the plant too. You know,
Right,
plants stress
right.
out a lot more when they're producing.
Right. But
Yeah,
yeah,
you're
so
right. You
far-
have it really spaced out really well. It's easy to pull out a variety if you wanted to. You still could keep them separated too because you have them all labeled, right?
Yeah, I got everything labeled on the trellis here. I'm gonna create a spreadsheet of some sort, but yeah, these seem to be growing real fast. I mean, we have a few more months in the growing season, so at least we can
You're gonna get plenty of fruit next season.
a little
for
more
sure.
progress. Yeah, you gotta get those
mean,
fruiting branches, right?
Didn't you have? I thought I saw some flower buds, right?
There's on the G3 if you go down there.
okay.
You can talk about that because that's the one I got from you.
Oh,
And-
that's right. This
and it
one
was
was a
kind
little
of,
sickly.
I mean, it was a little sickly, you know. It wasn't.
this.
It wasn't super happy, but that was like one of the plants. Didn't you put it in? What is it? The Happy Frog? Was
Nah,
that
this
the
one. Well,
Happy
actually, this
Frogger?
one is really, really old. If you look at it here, down here, this is one of Leo Manuel's.
Oh, is that what it was? It was a
yeah,
Leo
it
Manuel?
was just a really old one. And I would like to say, I haven't really said this, but in hindsight, I wish I would have just taken cuttings of a lot of these plants because that really big, old, mature root ball, when we ripped it out of Leo's house, it took them years to recover, and almost it seems like they just wanted to shoot out a lot of epiphytic roots and kind of start over again. So it's good to see that this old one is just busting out really happy.
Yeah, all
growth
this is
now.
new growth on top. I mean,
Yeah, it's really happy.
yeah,
I mean, what,
it's-
it has multiple flowers on it?
Yeah, I had a couple flower buds that are kicking. So it definitely stresses it out when you move it. You know, you're ripping out roots and you might even hit that tap root, you know?
Yeah, well,
So-
look at this one. I should say this one really bounced back well, so.
Yeah, we put the same treatment. I put, you know, it's a lot of it's your soil like that was in there when I got it, but I kind of threw some of the stuff we had in there and then hit it with some grow power, some gypsum, same treatment, did Epsom salts. Like
And it's great we can get grow power now because they're producing it now.
Oh, are they? Oh, but Dan bought like 6 bags and I asked him, I was like, are they producing now? And he said he didn't know.
I think they just started and is now made in Arizona is the latest. So a lot of people were posting in our group on
Oh, killer.
San Diego, our Facebook group, and they were saying that they're able to find it in stores now. So
Yeah, I mean, you could probably make a version of grow power, but I mean, why bring sand to the beach if you
yep,
can just buy it?
it's back, so
Yeah.
use it.
Right?
Well, man, this looks really great, Scott. I'm glad I finally got to come check it out.
Yeah,
It's way bigger in person. You know, I mean, I've been watching and following along, but man, seeing it here in real life is just epic. And then just to think that, I mean, you can easily expand it another 50 yards and just let this thing go. And it's almost going to be a nice, like, property border, right?
Yeah, it's kind of funny because we had these tarps up on some of the plants, and some of the neighbors thought there was a homeless camp coming down in this valley because this
What is down here?
Yeah, down in the valley. Some of the neighbors asked, I think there's some homeless people or someone down there because we had these tarps up or whatever. I don't know, but it was kind of funny.
Well, it's actually opposite. You got some
it's
dragons
like, no,
and they
it's
finally
dragon
found a
fruit.
home.
Yeah, we're creating some homes for the homeless dragon fruit. But yeah, I mean, we're only like 10, 15 minutes from your house, so it's pretty much the same climate.
Similar
It's a little more east, slightly maybe a little more elevated, but other than that, it's almost identical. So
Maybe a little more wind, too.
maybe
I
a
would
little more
say.
wind, yeah. So, but I mean, all the plants that do well in your yard should do well here, and getting a lot of the plants from you. But yeah, just kind of all the stuff we've learned. I mean, obviously we both, been, into dragon fruit for 5 years or 6 years now, and
flying
make
by.
a lot of mistakes. You make a ton of mistakes, and you don't know what you're doing at first. As everyone, but it's nice when you can get some tips early on and kind of bypass some of those mistakes. So
And do something like this to where it's just, I mean, this is a really innovative design. I mean, it's like Oceanside's, but definitely different. And I mean, look at how much you guys are able to produce, how much fruit this thing's going to produce in a few years, and it should last at least a decade. I mean, you use pressure treated wood, so it should do really well over time.
Yeah, you can. It's kind of, we can always rehab it, put some new posts in, you know.
And I think key would be
reinforce stuff.
balancing the plant material too. So as it produces and develops, you're
that's
gonna
what I've
wanna
actually
really
been
branch 'em
focusing
out.
on. Yeah, is trying to keep it balanced.
Yeah, see how you're taping it out? 'Cause
Right.
that's key. If everything's just on one side, it's gonna be bad. in
Yeah,
the long
trying to
term.
keep the growth. Like you can see the hypodermic, I'm pulling one. It's almost symmetrical at this point.
Yep.
So we're definitely thinking about that and keep it balanced. Because that's, if you have some counterweight, you know, it's gonna make the trellis last longer. It's not
Yeah.
stressing it out on one
Well,
side.
I envision when it's really thick too, you can kind of do the Israeli method where they used a lot of machetes and they would just go and prune them.
Oh, okay.
So rather than cutting one branch, they would literally just go with a sharp machete and just cut all the way down.
Really?
Yeah, I think that would be really easy for you guys here
Yeah,
to do.
yeah, there you go.
I mean, that would be cool to watch. So yeah, great job, Scott. I can't wait to see it progress. Give us a like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.
All right.